So there's a recording there so welcome to Sue. And come to the top of your mat. As we start into Tadasana. So I didn't tell you what the theme was this week. Stand and face you. Oh, it's not that secretive. It's just that it was interesting last week because I saw somebody in class and when I was doing hips and she said, oh, I nearly didn't come this week. And I said, why was that? And she said, when you said it was hips, I thought, oh, I don't know whether I want to do a hip class because I got a problem with my hips. And I said, well, that's exactly why you should come to a hip class. So I thought, am I doing the right thing by telling people what the class is? So I thought I'd try it this week and not tell you what we're doing because, you know, hence the pose, hence the quote rather, the yoga pose you dislike the most is the one you probably need the most. So I figure we do that for this theme today. Although the pose that we're going to get into is half moon pose, and that might put people off because it is quite a balance, but I've got lots of suggestions for that as to how you can do it. So we will need blocks. So hopefully you've got a block or a book there. So let's stand up straight and tall. So we're going to work on opening our chest and our shoulders. We need that to come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So stand up straight and tall. Relax your shoulders down. And then just feel how your feet are connecting to the ground. So imagine that you're trying to press the ball of the big toe into the mat. And then just that pad under the little toe. And then think about 2 points in your heels. So if you press on the left-hand side of the back of the heel, so you're sort of going to move a little bit to the left as you do that. So the left of both heels. And then the left of, the right of both heels. And then return back to the center. So now you've got that visualization of those 4 places under the soles of your feet. You can feel as though you're really plugged into the mat. If you think about a Lego brick, so imagine the sole of your foot is like a Lego brick with the 4, lifted circular points, and you plugged it down into the earth, and it really makes you feel connected. So then think about your knees. So don't lock the knees back. But our shoulders are nice and relaxed. Arms are hanging alongside the body. Stack your head above your shoulders. So just bring the chin back a little bit so we're not protruding forward. We're not going forward like this. We're standing up straight and tall. And just for a moment, either soften your gaze or close your eyes. And that can be a little bit of a challenge to your balance. When you just stood here doing nothing, although there's quite a lot going on in Tadasana, when you close your eyes, it can start to bring in a little bit of a sway into the body. So see if you can contain it. And most of that sway will be contained if you engage your tummy muscles. Just allow yourself to find that upright Tadasana, that strong mountain pose. And if you can keep your eyes closed, that's good. If not, then just gently open them. Take a deep breath in. And you're going to breathe in through the nose. And as you breathe out through the mouth, just say to yourself the word yield. And as you say it, just visualize that you're letting go of everything, dropping down into the mat. So breathing in, breathing out, just saying yield, yield down into the mat. Sometimes that word, that trigger, makes you feel as though you're really standing straight and tall and connected. So do it once more. And out, yield. And then just breathe normally. So take in another deep breath in, reach your hands up and overhead, follow your hands with your gaze. And as you breathe out, just flop the hands forward, come down to sort of a forward fold, as if you're just encouraging the hands to come towards the mat. So don't go too hard on yourself. And then breathe in, bring your hands up to your shins, find that half forward fold. So really try and lengthen through the back. Send the crown of the head out in front of you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take your hands to the mat and drop the crown of the head. And then see if you can catch hold of your big toe with your first finger and thumb of each hand. So you might need to bend your knees. And then take another breath in. And as you breathe out, just fold forward, just allowing your chin to come towards your chest. And your head, your face coming towards your knees. You can have a bend in the knees if you need to. Breathing in, keeping hold of those toes, come back to that half forward fold. So finding that stretch, the backs of the hamstrings. And then breathing out, just releasing into the mat once more. But finding that stretch at the backs of the legs. And then take a breath in, coming back up to that half fold, or trying to get there. And then this time, really bend the knees and release the spine down towards the mat. So really feel that you're releasing through the back this time. And then let go of your toes with your fingers. Breathe in. Breathing out, take the hands to the mat and really press the hands into the mat, sending the hips up towards the ceiling. So we're just easing into this Uttanasana forward fold and getting a really nice stretch into the back and the legs. And then bending your knees once more, slide your fingers underneath your hands so your toes come towards your wrists, so where your wrists meet the palms. And then taking a breath in. As you breathe out, try to stand up. So obviously we can't, our hands are trapped, but that's really helping to get that stretch in the hamstrings and through the arms. You should be feeling that all the way up to the shoulders. Breathing in, releasing, bend the knees, release those hands down to the mat, bending the knees even more and step back into all fours. So just take a moment here, let everything settle. We've been in a forward fold for a little while, so just let everything settle here. So in your all fours position, hands are underneath shoulders, knees are under hips, toes into the mat. So keep those strong feet and calves. Take a breath in And as you breathe out, round up into cat pose. Press that mat away from you. Really open through the back. Breathe in. Breathe out, coming into cow. So tilting through the pelvis, leading with the chin and the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. 2 more of these. Breathing in. Breathing out. Cat pose. Really press that mat away. We want to open the shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out, tilting the pelvis and working into your cow pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe in, breathe out to cat. Breathe in and breathe out to cow. Breathing in, come back to your all fours position. So check in your hands and your knees in the right position here, because we're going to come into a little bit of a balance. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, send your right hand forward, your left leg behind. So you're pointing with your fingertips, your toes, reaching away. Breathe in, breathing out, take the hand and the knee back to the mat. Do the other side, breathe in, breathing out, reaching, left hand forward, right foot behind. Take a breath here. And then release on the out breath. We're going to do it twice more. So breathe in, breathe out. Right hand, left leg. Keep the tummy engaged, keep a flat back. And then release. Left hand, right leg. Keep breathing, reaching away through the fingertips and the toes. Your gaze is to the mat and then release, hands down. So once more on each side, right hand, left leg. Really try and touch the wall in front of you and the wall behind. And then the left side, left hand, right leg. And then release, hands to the mat, knees to the mat. So we're going to come into striking cobra. So striking cobra is when we do 3 asanas, one after the other. Child's pose, chaturanga, to the mat, and up dog or cobra, your choice. So from your all fours position, keep your knees pointing forward. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, release the tops of your feet and sit back into child's pose. Just extending those arms and shoulders. Taking a breath in, bring yourself up to all fours. So we're going to transition into chaturanga from here. So taking a breath in. As you breathe out, bend in the elbows, taking the chin and the chest to the mat, sliding it through, and then squeeze the shoulders together, the arms are alongside the chest. You're in cobra, or if you're feeling strong, you can come up to up dog. Your choice. Just do it when your back has started to warm up. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees to the mat, sink back to child's pose. So we're going to do 5 of these, a little bit quicker than that. Breathing in as you come up to all fours. Breathing out, bend the elbows, chin and chest to the mat, your hips stay up, slide through, cobra or up dog. Just hold it here for a breath. And then knees to the mat. Slide back. Child's pose. 4 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Chaturanga. Sliding through. So you need the strength of your arms and shoulders. And then coming up to cobra or up dog. Take a breath. Slide back to child's pose. 3 more. I know I'm going to make you do 6, but the first one was slow. Slide back into child's. 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Chaturanga. Breathing in. Up dog or cobra. Breathing out. Child's pose. Last one. Breathing in. Breathing out. Chaturanga. Up dog. Or cobra, of course. Breathing out. So this time in child's, take your knees wide and just allow your head to rest down towards the mat. So take in a few breaths here. Just let everything settle. Just those few moves got the heart rate going. So on your next inhalation, just lift the fingertips, the hands rather, and come up onto your fingertips and walk your hands around to the right hand side. So your chest is resting on your right thigh. So we're just reaching over to the right, but we're going to add a little bit on here. So as you take a breath out, send your left rib cage over towards the left. So you're really sort of pressing and opening the left side of the body. Just be careful, Michelle, if this is your bruised side, to stay with the body just resting on the thigh. So when you do this, reaching the hands over to the right and visualizing that you're pressing your rib cage to the left really opens the chest. It's a little tip I learned this week. And then allow your chest just to rest on your thigh. Breathing in and walk your hands all the way back to center. And then around to the left. So we're going to do the same thing, resting your chest down on your left thigh. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, send the right side of your rib cage over to the right. You can really feel that stretch from the underarm all the way to the ribs. And then returning back to the center of your thigh and breathing in, walking the hands back to the center in child's pose. Then taking a breath in, bring yourself up to all fours, realign your knees, toes into the mat, and lift your knees and your hips. Come to downward facing dog. Just have a little walk through the heels. It's your first down dog. So just easing out through the heels. And then allow the heels to rest down towards the mat. And just bring your feet just a little bit closer. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take your right hand to your left ankle. So you're just encouraging the chest to come through the left side, opening the chest and working into that left shoulder. Just take a breath here. And then release the hand back to the mat. Take a breath in your down dog or your shortened down dog. And then breathing in, breathing out, left hand to right ankle. You're gazing under your right arm. Just getting that lovely stretch. Release your hand back to the mat and walk your feet all the way back to your hands. You're back in Uttanasana, forward fold. Taking a breath in as you take your hands out wide, like an aeroplane, come up slowly, slowly, reach your hands up and overhead and bring them to the heart center. Well done. Just stand in Tadasana for a moment. Just finding that balance. Taking a few breaths. Okay, let's do a little flow. So taking a breath in, take your hands out wide, reach up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. And as you breathe out, bring them through the midline all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathing in, take your hands to your shins. Find that half forward fold. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Uttanasana. Bend your knees, plant your hands and step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then taking a breath in as you press your left foot into the mat, right knee comes up to the chest, come up onto your left toes to make some more space and step the right foot forward and through. So drop your left heel into a 45-degree angle. You're going to take a breath in as you sweep the hands forward, press that right foot into the mat. Warrior one. Reaching the hands up alongside your ears, your gaze is forward. See if you can sink through the center. So you're keeping your right knee above your right ankle, and the movement is down through the center. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, release your right elbow down towards your right thigh. Your left arm comes up and over. That's too much for you. Just allow the left hand to tuck behind the back. You'll get a nice chest opener by doing that. Otherwise, just reach the hand, extended side angle. Breathing in. Breathing out, sweeping the hands back, coming into warrior two. So just have a little check. The back hand is in line with the front. Open through the shoulders here. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. Encourage that left hip to come back, to open the chest and open the front of the body. And check your right knee is not dropping to the left. Holding in warrior two. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, bring your left hand to meet your right hand. So the palms are touching and you're gazing forward. So you're going to breathe in You're going to draw the left hand all the way back alongside the right, then elbow behind you, and as you breathe out, you're going to shoot that arrow forward. Breathing in, bring the hand alongside the inside of your right arm, breathe it out. Once more, breathing in, shooting an arrow, breathe it out. Return to warrior two. Find that strong pose. So from here, we're going to transition into triangle pose. So start to straighten the right leg. Send your left hip back behind you. You might want to bring your feet in a little bit closer. So send the left hip behind, and you're just going to lean forward and encourage the right hand to come down towards the right ankle. Now, this is where the block comes in handy. So it's a good idea to have the block. I'm going to turn around to face you. If you've got the block, put it on the outside of your foot. And then as you reach into triangle, you're really going to open the chest. Do you see the difference? If I'm trying to reach my hand down to the floor, my chest is going with it. So I'm never going to get a really good opening with the chest. So blocks are not cheating. Blocks are helping us to get the most out of the pose. So if you've got a block or a book, please use it. So there's a really nice opening in triangle pose. So from here, we're going to transition into half moon. So release the left hand down. Take your right hand with the block and place it about a foot, so about 12 inches in front of the right foot. And step the left leg in a little bit closer. Lean into that right knee. Send the left foot behind. Option with this left hand, it can go to your back pocket. Or if you're feeling really balanced, you can send it up to the ceiling. And if your gaze wants to go with it, then give that a try. So keep your left foot really strong, as if you're stamping the foot against the wall behind you. Just taking a look at you all. That's it, well done. So if you're struggling with your balance, keep Pete, don't struggle too much. Take the arm reaching up onto your back pocket. So it will help you to get that bit of stability. And then you can think about reaching the hand up. And keep this back leg strong. Stamp the foot back behind you. It really works. So take a breath in here. Breathing out, just release back into warrior two. Well done. Are you breathing a little bit harder here? Oh. So from your warrior two, taking a breath in, step the left foot back to the top of the mat. Come back to Tadasana. And coming back to the top of the mat here, we're going to try all of that on the other side. So just let everything settle. You can feel your heart racing. You can feel that you've done something really strong. Your breath is always the good indication of this. So just let it return to normal before we do anything else. I'm just letting my hands rest alongside the body, standing up straight and tall, connecting through the soles of my feet into the mat. And then we're going to try this again on the other side. So taking a breath in, hands go out wide, reach up and overhead. As you breathe out, bring them down through the midline, all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop the crown of the head towards the mat. Breathing in, take your hands to your shins. Half forward fold. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. And then bend your knees enough so that you can plant your hands. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. Just find your down dog. Send your hips up to the ceiling. Try and send your bottom ribs towards your thighs. Dropping your head through your arms. And then breathing into the sole of your right foot as you release your left knee up towards your chest. Come up onto your right toes. Step the left foot forward. So just coming into this lunge position. Taking a breath in as you engage your left thigh, your left hip, and come up to warrior one. Your back heel is dropped down into the mat. Find warrior one. Reach the arms alongside the ears. Strong warriors. Taking a few breaths here, and as you breathe out, sink through the center. So we're not sinking forward, because we don't want the knee to go forward of the left foot. We're sinking through the center. Breathe in. Breathing out. Left bent arm to your left thigh. Right arm goes up and over, or take it to your back pocket if your arm's bothering you. My bicep. So reach the right fingertips all the way, stretching the right side of the body. You see that straight line that you're creating. You're reaching from the right fingertips all the way down to the outside of your right foot. Breathing in, breathing out, releasing back into warrior two. Find your warrior two, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Send the right hip back towards your right leg. And left hip is opening towards your left knee, keeping that left knee over the left ankle. Don't let it drop to the side. Tummy muscles engaged. Breathing in here. And as you breathe out, bring your right hand to meet the left so the palms are touching. So your gaze is now forward. Breathing in, draw the right hand all along the left hand, along the chest. Send the right elbow back. As you breathe out, breathing in. Drawing that arrow back. Breathe out. Once more, breathing in. Send it back. Really open the chest. Breathe out. And then release your hands back into warrior two. Just find that warrior two position. Find the balance. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to transition into triangle and half moon. So get your block ready. Just release your hands for a moment. Have a block at the top of the mat. And then from our warrior two, just step the back leg in a little bit. We're going to transition to triangle. So keeping the hands out, Send the right hip back as you straighten the left leg and tip the body forward. So your left hand comes to the mat or the ankle or your block. Use the block and then open the right hand up to the ceiling. You can feel that little twist into the right waist and you're opening your chest and shoulders. Your hands are following, or your gaze rather is following your right hand. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, release your top hand down. Bend the left knee. You're going to step the right foot back in a little bit. And the left hand, just place the block about a foot in front of your left foot. Lean into that block and lift the back leg. So get the strength in this back leg. Send the sole of the foot away before you try anything else. Engage your tummy muscles. Breathing in. Maybe your hand wants to reach up to the ceiling. Keep that strength in your right leg. It makes you think that you're pressing the leg against something. And of course, you've got that option. You could put your foot against the wall. And that would give the balance a little bit more of a chance. So your right hand is reaching up. Well done. Or right hand to the back pocket. It's another way of making you think that you've got this balance, because when you're touching something, even though you're touching your body, which is balancing, just gives you that feeling. So really open up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, and then release the foot back behind you. Return to Warrior Two. Just take a breath here. Nice deep inhalation. As you breathe out, step your right foot up to the top of the mat. Tadasana. Oh, that got you breathing hard, didn't it? Relax your shoulders. Find that balance in Tadasana. And then very slowly release yourself down to the mat. Release your knees wide into the mat and sit back into child's pose. So just allow everything to settle. Your heart rate will have increased a little bit. And we just want to get the body back into balance before we try anything else. And releasing your forehead down to the mat really helps this too. So walk your hands back towards your knees and toes into the mat. Lift the hips. Walk the feet towards your hands and slowly, slowly bring yourself up. Let's just see if we can finish with a little balance. So standing up straight and tall. We're going to take our weight into the left foot, taking a breath in and just lift your right knee and hug it towards your chest. So find your drishti if you're finding this a little bit of a wobble. And then take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and send your right hand behind you. So add in a little twist, opening the chest. Maybe you can look towards your right shoulder. Keep the shoulders down. Keep that strength in the standing leg, a little bit of softness in the knee. And then return to center and step the foot down. Let's try the other side. I'll come the side here. So weight into the right foot, take a breath in, lift the left knee, hug it in towards your chest. So nice and straight and tall, relax the shoulders. Find your drishti. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. Left hand floats behind you. Opening the chest. Maybe you can send your gaze to that left hand. Getting a little twist into the spine and opening the chest. And then release down. Well done. So take your feet wide on the mat. Hands together at the heart center. Taking a breath in. And as you breathe out, sinking down through the middle, through your squat. Just sitting up straight and tall here. So have your elbows pressing into the insides of your legs as you sit up and lift the chest in this position. If you find this too much, this is where the blocks come in handy again, because the block can go behind your hips and you can sit on the block and then you can really lift the chest. So use the blocks all the time. Don't think because you're doing it that you're doing something less than other people. You're not. You're actually doing more because you're in this position. We're really bringing our shoulder blades together and lifting the chest. You're getting more out of this than you would if you were off the block and really trying to jam yourself into it. Not good. So a yoga teacher that I follow online always says, when you're doing an asana, think not can, not do what I can do what I should do. So just because you think, oh yeah, I can reach my hand all the way to the floor to do triangle, but if you can do that, are you necessarily doing the right thing for your body? You should do what is right for your body, so what you should do. And that's where the blocks help us. So I quite like that analogy. So let's sit our hips back to the mat as elegantly as we can. And we're going to come into a little twist before we finish. So tuck your knees underneath you. So coming into this bent knee position. So if this isn't good for you, you can just let your legs come out in front. Otherwise, if you're happy in this kneeling position, take your right leg and send the knee up towards the ceiling. So only the left knee is in that tight bend now. I'm just going to come around this way so you can see what I'm doing. So it's a little bit like when we do the Lords of the Fishes twist, but a little bit of a modification. So our right hand is going to come to the inside of the right knee with the hand pointing up. The left hand, you're going to sweep it all the way around and bring it to your right back pocket. So you're using that upright knee to help you to keep the spine upright. You're twisting around and opening through the chest. But it gives you a nice twist into the spine too. You should be feeling this a little bit more towards the upper back. And then breathing in, release. So let's try it the other side as well. So left hand goes to the outside of this bent knee and right hand comes behind. It's a little bit more difficult. It's harder to balance. And then release. So swap the knees. So the right knee is bent, the left foot is in front of us. Your left hip will always be up and away from the mat, and your right hip is sitting onto your right heel. So with this gap here, particularly when we do the second twist, that can affect your balance. So that's where the block can be useful again. You could put the block under that hip. So you decide. So left knee is bent, pointing up to the ceiling. Right knee and down onto the mat. Take a breath in. Take your right hand and tuck it around to the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes behind. Just opening and twisting. Just breathing in this position. And then swapping. Left hand goes inside the the left knee, right hand comes behind. So only becomes a bit more of a balance because we haven't got the left hip resting down on the mat. So maybe the block will help you. And then release. Well done. So release your feet out in front of you. One last little twist. So come down into semi-supine. Take your hands out to the side in a T shape, palms facing down. And slide your right leg away. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just drop your left knee over towards the right. So your left toes can just tuck behind your right, just above your right knee. And maybe you want to gaze to the left hand. And just a nice twist before we finish. Just feeling that twist in the lower back, the weight of the legs sending the left knee over towards the right. And your chest is getting a nice opener here too. So encouraging those shoulders to stay on the mat. And then bring your head back to center. Bring your left knee back to center. And swap legs. So right knee is bent, left leg slides away. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, drop the right knee over to the left. Tuck the top of the right foot just behind the left leg, above the knee. Your gaze is over to your right hand, if that feels good. And then breathe in your head back to center. Release your hips back to the mat. Bend both knees and hug them up and over your chest. Apanasana. Have a little roll, little massage of the back. And then allow the legs to slide out along the mat and set yourself up for Shavasana. Grab your layers. Relax down onto the mat. We'll have a few minutes of relaxation. Come down onto the mat. Lying out in your Shavasana. Just release the whole of the back body into the mat. Have your hands alongside the body in a gentle V, palms facing up. And have your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart, and let the toes drop out to the side. And just take a few deep breaths here, in through the nose, and just sigh them out through the mouth. Just let go. Do that once more. Maybe you'll even bring in a yawn. Just make sure that you're completely comfortable on the mat. Have a little shuffle with your head and your neck and your shoulders. Let go of anywhere where you're holding on to tension. Just releasing into the mat. You're using each exhalation to let go. Taking your attention to the space just above the crown of the head. Moving on to your forehead. Releasing any frown you may be holding. Relaxing the skin around your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth and your jaw. Releasing down the sides of your neck and over your shoulders. Just let your shoulders rest back into the mat. Feeling that relaxation flow down your arms, past your elbows, to your wrists and your fingers. And just allow your arms to feel heavy and relaxed. And then taking your attention to the back of your head and working your way down your neck, coming to the top of your spine, releasing one vertebra at a time, down into the mat, until you reach your pelvis, the sacrum area of the back. Just let the whole of the back body relax into the mat. Feel the hips relax, feel them drop open. And feel the relaxation flowing down your legs, past your knees, to your ankles, your feet and your toes. Just feel the weight of your legs sinking into the mat. Feel the weight of the whole body. Just releasing. All your work is done. Nothing to think about, nothing to do. Just give yourself this minute of relaxation. And then start to bring some movement back into your body. Just wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rotating your wrists and your ankles. Taking a deep breath in as you float your hands up and overhead. And do a full body stretch, point from your fingers to your toes. Really lengthening out on the mat. And then bending your arms, letting your hands rest on the mat behind you. Breathing in as you bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor. And breathing out as you roll onto your right hand side. And just bring your knees a little bit closer to your chest. Give yourself a crutch. And then when you're ready, blinking your eyes open and bringing yourself back up to a seated position. Hopefully everyone's feeling good, nice and stretched, but relaxed at the same time. So we're going to finish with our 3 breaths together. So sitting up straight and tall. Relax your shoulders down, fingertips to the mat at either side. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, hands to the heart center. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.